Hello and welcome to Portman Road. This sound indicates an important announcement.
Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and do not adjust your screens. It is Wednesday, and we are live with your Wednesday night match day preview show. We are coming to you live on a Wednesday because tomorrow at 8:30 we have the Ipswich Town women's team special on the network. Myself, the Cruncher, and a couple of people who have followed the Ipswich Town women's team discussing them and their return to action soon. So incredibly exciting stuff. So if you are around tomorrow evening, do join us there. And we're a little bit earlier than normal. 7 p.m. we're kicking off here because a certain national team is kicking off at 7:45. So hopefully we'll be done by then. We've got a jam-packed evening. We've got the wheel in operation. There's several topics on the wheel. I'll run through those. We've got Coach United on the topics tonight. Wayne Brown's removed as their manager after 25 days with Hayden Mullins taking charge. We'll get our thoughts on that. Got a transfer rumour. It's March the 31st. We've got a transfer rumour. We've got Cook demanding a response. We've got somebody from Bristol Rovers coming across and talking to us about this weekend with myself and two wonderful guests. First of all, as I'm sure you all can appreciate, as much as I love you all, and I do love you all, I've just got to run this next one. The wife's broken my arm and made me do it. Hi guys, Martin here. A huge thank you to every single one of our monthly supporters. Without your support, we can't do what we do on a weekly basis. Not yet a supporter? Why not? Please consider supporting us monthly. Anything you give, from £1 upwards, anything at all, is greatly appreciated and helps grow the platform. We've come so far in a year, let's go even further in the next. Thank you. However, if your monthly budget is a bit like mine, a bit sporadic, and you're not quite sure where you are, then please consider giving us on a one-off donation basis. We do, of course, accept those and really cherish every single one of those as well. The link for monthly and a one-off is exactly the same. It's all on Ko-Fi. Head there, and thank you so much. One more thing before you do go. As you can see on this beautiful screen with nobody here, we have a few advertise here spaces. So if you are a part of a company looking to reach a wider audience, or in charge of your own company, self-employed I think they call that, and you'd like to reach a bigger audience and grow your business as we hopefully come out of this lockdown, hopefully progress into a new future, a brighter future, then please do leave a comment or find me on Twitter or Facebook, or of course email me. Email is in the description, or it is homedressing89@gmail.com. Let's together go forward. Right, now to the video. Yeah, I've done it. Yeah. Hang on, right. So we are live this evening. Stephen Parry, I've missed your support. I do apologise, Stephen. Sid Driver on the walls. Parker Uji Callie, I ain't paid enough. No, but he is. Callie, Sid, Michael, Stiggy, good evening. 9 p.m. tomorrow, I'm being told. Sorry, Crunchy. Yeah, you got to be dinner, ain't you, first? Right. With me this evening to discuss all manner of things football is, of course, our resident Mr. Joker. Although he was shown up last week, so he's got to bring that A game, bring his best Lee Evans impersonation. Do you know I couldn't name a comedian then? My mind just went absolutely blank. And do you know the only person that came to mind was Jim Davidson? No, Jim Davidson. No, I can't say Jim Davidson.
No, you can't say him. You can't tar me with his brush. No way.
It's because I'm a big fan of Big Break. Loved Big Break as a kid.
Big Break was great.
And we were talking over dinner about Saturday night rituals as a kid, and what you watched and what you didn't watch. Anyway, Mr. Flatt, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Thank you very much. All good. Back at work this week. 3 months off of furlough, back to work. All good.
I don't know what you do, but I've got in my head a sort of David Brent, Hoover salesman type gig where you're driving around.
Life on the road.
Yes. Life on the
No,
road.
it's boring. It's a boring office job, but there we go.
Oh, well, fair play.
Nothing glamorous, sorry.
Got a lot of Al Murrays coming in because obviously pub landlord.
I'll take Al Murray. He's a very intelligent man as well. I'll take that.
Lee Hurst is as bad as Jim Davidson. Al Murray, Lee Evans. Hope that hamster is peddling, says Cruncher.
He's working overtime, definitely.
We all hope, don't we? We all hope that the hamster comes through. Now, joining us in our rather marvellous trio, he comes from a galaxy far, far away of distant lands. Although before we went live, he was telling us just exactly where. But here he is. Ben, how you doing?
Very good, man. How are you doing?
He's our resident MilkTray. You know, life's a box of chocolates. Never know which one you're going to get. I'm very well. Callie said you Jimmy Carr vibes, Flatty, by the way.
I'll take that. I'll take Jimmy Carr.
I want to know what sort of comedian Ben would be. Chat, let us know in the chat what you think or who you think Ben's most like a comedian. You know,
I need to get funny first, don't I?
Well, that would help. Yes, that would help. That would help. Matt Stannard, Guv, I think you should get the MilkTray advert for Ben's intro. I'm sure copyright has expired now. Well, if it's expired, we'll definitely get it. Look at that chest hair. Who's got chest hair as a comedian? Can't think of any.
Maybe the sort of the low-hanging tops and the beard to do like a Russell Brand vibe, maybe.
You're trying to get me kicked off YouTube, aren't you, with that? Stephen Parry, Rowan Atkinson. What, as Mr. Bean or as Johnny English or...
Thanks, I think.
Or does he mean Ron Atkinson?
I was trying to take that.
Or does he mean Ron Atkinson?
Mr. Bean.
Does he mean Ron Atkinson?
Oh, no, not Ron. Ron Atkinson and Jim Davidson. And it's only not even 10 minutes in.
Do you remember that Sky One show Ron Atkinson did with Peterborough, funnily enough?
Yes, I do remember that, actually. Yeah, I do. Sort of behind the scenes, wasn't it? Fly on the wall stuff.
They were trying to find a manager, weren't they? It was Big Ron Peterborough manager or Big Ron so manager. And I think he quit, didn't he, after 4 months?
Yeah, and we all used to sit and watch and think, God almighty, we'll never play anyone like this ever in our history. And look at us now.
And now we can't beat them.
Jesus Christ.
And now we can't beat them.
You have to laugh, don't you?
Ben, obviously, you were going to join us on a normal Thursday, so I'm really pleased you could join us on a Wednesday. Adam, you've moved your contribution shifts around a little bit. You're going to have your Friday off because Friday is Adam Flatt's birthday. So for those watching, on Friday, make sure you send this man here plenty of money, plenty of cards, plenty of roses. I want the postman on the next working day after his birthday to be really feeling the brunt.
Excellent stuff.
Talking town love. Talking
a shameless plug there. Excellent. Brilliant stuff.
I do shameless plugs for free. No problem. Payment after the show. Talking of love, this weekend we do have a game. We have 2 games technically this weekend, Friday and Monday. We'll discuss the Friday game. We desperately need something. I've written my article this week and it's based on hope. The Beatles gave us love. Hopefully Town will give us something to cling on to come Tuesday morning.
Yeah, bloody hernia.
Well, yeah, not quite a hernia, I would say, Ben. But we have got someone from Bristol Rovers joining us shortly. But a club more closely to us is Colchester United. Now, a player who used to play for us, Wayne Brown, was in charge there. However, he's been removed after 25 days with Hayden Mullins taking charge. Just what is our outside looking in thoughts on Colchester? Flat, kick us off. What's going on?
I'm going to shamelessly plug a friend of mine who's a big Colchester United fan. He does a Col United podcast called Views on the U's. It's a decent listen.
Nice.
His name's Max. And he does it with his mate James. It's a good listen if you want the lowdown on Colchester United. To be fair to him, he's been pretty mystic this season. He predicted that Hayden Mullins would take over at some point, but they are a basket case of a football club at the moment, Col United. They've won one game in the last 22 in the league. They've won once, and they have scored 11 goals in those 22 games. So we think we've got it bad here. They are having a tough time of it down the A12.
Not a great thing, but you're not going to get anywhere. We're consistently told as Town fans, and this is it's sort of ingrained, Ben, in our DNA, isn't it? That you don't change managers. 25 days. He barely had enough time to have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's like the Paul Hurst kind of school of recruitment. But to be honest with you, with Wayne Brown, what the hell did they expect from him? What do you want from him? And you're quite right. The club is a basket case. There's a lot of stuff going off the pitch as well, which doesn't make the papers, which doesn't help. But it's really the stuff on the pitch which we can all see, and you can judge it based solely on that. When I think of Colchester, I think there, but by the grace of God, go I. And we're moaning that, we can't score enough goals or have a good team selection, and we're not gunning for the championship. Imagine if you have like a 75, 80% chance of dropping down to the national leagues in that stadium. It's absolutely, it's sad. I'm in Brightlingsea, so I'm literally just down the road from Colchester. I'm closer to Colchester than Ipswich. It's sad to see. And as always, I feel sorry for the supporters. I know a lot of COU supporters, man, woman and boy. That's a local team that grew up on it, and they are absolutely in they are the last few rings down the plug hole right now. They're going to need some kind of, godly intervention to get out of that.
They're on the brink. Yeah, it is. I've dropped the link, Adam, to Views on the Use Spotify in the chat. So for those that want to check it out, obviously
it's good. It's a good listen. If you want
they've
to,
had Robbie
Cowling
on recently, I can see.
They've had Kem Izzet on there. They've had John Waldron, who writes for the Colchester Gazette, a couple of times. They've got a couple of other sort of ex-pros in the pipeline. They're the only real Colchester United. They're the only Colchester United podcast, really. So they're able
half
to.
The trouble though, with you say it was two guys, was it? Two doing a podcast.
Yeah.
That's like 9% of the Colchester support base.
Well,
and that's the big trouble. They got that massive stadium, and they got 2,000 people in on a home game.
We'll call it massive, but quite obvious. Obviously, their PR department isn't run by Cruncher, so they get everybody on the show. I love you, Crunch. I love you. But no, it does. As JT says, it does smell a bit of something else is going on here. 25 days is a bit of a.
Put it this way, Martin. They've got ex-managers still on the payroll at Colchester United. Tony Humes was a manager that failed there. He's involved in their recruitment.
They move it round, don't they? But Ball is as well. Ball is as well, isn't he?
Joe Dunn, who was their manager, I think was quite a good coach, but couldn't do the step up to management. He's been brought in. Steve Ball was McGreal's assistant, was promoted to manager. Obviously didn't do very well. Wasn't even sacked. He's been moved into their recruitment. So can you imagine it? Imagine here, Paul Lambert still kicking around in the recruitment department. Paul Jules on the training pitch. Mick McCarthy's knocking around somewhere. It's just very strange way of doing it. Very strange.
I tell you what, though, what is equally as strange is the more this season unravels for every football club, the more our summer of recruitment looked absolutely atrocious, because Tommy Smith was talked about for a long time as a credible centre-half option. Now, he might be their best player this year. I don't know. But they
hate his guts, Martin. My mate Max hates him. He says he's been dreadful this season. Wow. He's been awful.
I've got a lot of time for Tommy. The Brentford turn where he tended to Tommy Messi Smith was, sublime. But can you imagine a back four of Stephen Ward, Tommy Smith, Luke Chambers?
Yeah.
Have you got the one foot in the grave music teed up?
But the trouble is, that's what you call a gradual, slow decline. And you think back to the season they got promoted to the Championship, and they gave it all the big uns and all that. Fair enough, and they were having their Championship tour. But that's a great example of this kind of gradual decline over a long period of time. Now, I know there's an easy comparison to make for us. We're not going to be where they are. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, we're not great, but we ain't going to be what they are, because a lot of their problems are what you don't see. And we ain't got those problems. So, and I'll come back to it every time. It's the fans I care about. It's the fans who have grown up with that club. And you can criticise the management. You can criticise the structure, which is an absolute basket case. But it's just the fans, that Colchester to them is like Ipswich to us. It's got to be heartbreaking.
Yeah, but a player they will know plenty of is a player we've been linked with today. Scunthorpe winger Alex Gilead, the 25-year-old, is out of contract in the summer, so that's a big box ticked under the current regime. Let me just put it into context for you. This year, he's had 1 goal, 4 assists in a League Two side. He's had 185 career appearances, 15 goals. I don't think I need to say much.
Yeah, almost
more.
creamed my pants when I found out we might be after him. Yeah. Exciting.
Flay, what do you think about that? Says it all. That's just a perfect exclamation point. I mean, if this is the thing is, right, and it's only a link, and of course we'll have many links, but if this is what an agent or a player or a club generally think Ipswich Town are looking at, I want to quit. I will hand my card back because
elite club.
I mean, you know,
the option on
you're
FIFA
not seeing Aaron Drinnan being linked with Man City because they need a striker, are you? Because everyone knows they ain't going to look
Good
at Aaron
analogy.
Drinnan.
I like that. Good analogy.
What the are we doing looking at guys like this? Even if it's a rumour, somebody somewhere must believe it to put it out there. So, Flatty, tell me, what the flip?
Well, I don't know. Stephen Parry on Twitter, I'm sure he's got posters of Alex Gilead on his walls. He was raving about him earlier. Yeah, he's got shares in him or something like that. The way he was going on about him. No, but is he any better than what we've currently got, or what we're going to be letting go? That's the question that I'd ask, and I would hazard a guess he isn't going to be any better, is he really? I think he's 200 and I was looking at his 216 games in the league, 18 goals. I mean, those wide forward positions, if we assume Paul Cook wants to play 4-2-3-1, they're going to be immensely important next season, and I think we're going to have to do a little bit better than Alex Gilead, really, if we're going to be progressing.
Ben, anytime you describe a winger as a defensive, hard-working winger, that to me just says alarm bells.
Yeah, Kolski's on the right, basically, rather than Kolski's in the middle. But look, we have to. This is all about tempering expectations. We're not going to be going after the young prospect from the Championship who's going to cost 900 grand or £1 million. We are going through the biggest transition of players we've probably any of us have ever seen, and it'll be bigger than the one that Hurst done. Now that one hurt us because it was done wrong, and this one could be the same. But these free transfers from the league below and the league that we're in. Look, welcome to Ipswich 2021, guys, because ain't going to get much better than that. For me, it's more indicative of what I know we might get onto it later, but the takeover business. Because if Marcus is still in charge, this is who we're going to get. If he's not in charge, all bets are off. We don't know. Now, we haven't taken the Premier League parachute payments yet, so we're not bound by a transfer kind of limit. But I can't see us getting much better than that. But do you know what? After what I'm watching every week, I'm ready to roll the dice. Try it.
The thing is, people have said Bennett's is worse, but he's playing in a league above. Mike D, better than. Yeah, there you go. Better than Keenan Brusher. Please take him back. Brian Dow. No point us having wingers. We can't head a ball ever. Callie. Any player coming here now up tomorrow at wide needs to be here as a first team and not squad player. Yeah. I mean, it could be a lazy link. I think, as Callie said earlier in the chat. But for me, it's the right lines. You do want to look at League Two, but you want to go to the assist chart of League Two, go to the very top and look at that list. You don't want to start at the bottom and work up. But we have got, as always, this show, we give the fans right to reply. We give fans the right to have their say. Stephen's on the line. Stephen's here to answer Flatty.
Where's that poster? Where's he's taking it down? That Alex Gilead poster. He's taking it down in the back.
Look, first off, I'll say this now. Yeah, it's Football League World. Yeah. I'm thinking like that's more clickbait than anything. I don't trust the link as far as I could lob it.
Well,
no, I don't.
Someone at the local paper did because they've reported it. So,
well, that's as Callie said. That's lazy. That's just seeing a link and saying it's true. It's not doesn't necessarily mean it is. But if it is, fair enough. But Paul Cook's going to have to make a call on this. You know, the way I look at things is I don't diss anyone till they come in. You know, Murphy's stats weren't great before he came in. And he had a massive achievement.
It took him coming back here 5 times to do well, though.
Maybe so. No, that's not the point. What I'm saying is, when he was at Newcastle, go back to 2016, when he was at Newcastle, yeah, he would win an award after award at Newcastle, yeah. The top and bottom, he was highly rated at Newcastle, yeah. Something along the line, like a lot of young players do. Maybe he went off the rails. Maybe he thought he was too big for his boots, and things went wrong. Probably just like Savardi did, things like that. These things happen in football, especially when Premier League academies throw out hundreds of young lads every single year. Some of them just disappear. Some of them take a bit of time to get going. Is he one of them? He could be. We don't know. I wouldn't bin him. I wouldn't say he's bad until we actually see him. At the end of the day, I watched his stats. Whilst he's been at Scunthorpe, he's had a goal every 7.7 games. It's not a lot, but he's been playing at right midfield. He's not been playing as a winger.
Yeah, but his assists aren't great either.
I wish we had a player that scored once every 7 games. God, imagine that.
Yeah, but the last time he got above 5 goals, Steve, was back in 2015 for Carlisle. Back in 2015, I could run 100 metres. I couldn't walk 2 yards now. I mean,
it was last season in the relegated side. He's had 7 goals. He's been at Scunthorpe for 2 years. Yeah, he had 6 goals last year. He had 1 this year. Yeah, this year he was playing in a 4-4-2. Last year he wasn't, but it was a relegated side, and he got 6 goals. If you want me to be fair, I think that's pretty decent in a relegated side. What's our wingers got?
I mean, Grant Edwards has got 6 goals, isn't he, this season? Has Grant Edwards scored 6? So is he better than Guion? People talking about binning off Grant Edwards. Is he better than him? That's the question, isn't it?
We got Thomas with the Championship. He was this big thing from Bristol City. I'd say, what's he worth? I think he's better than him. He can't score. He can't do nothing. What's Bennett's done? He can't even pass. He might be able to run and jiggle his legs around, but he can't even cross a ball.
Yeah, I'll take that point, actually.
We've got to look at the options. Is he an improvement of what we've got? I'm sorry. Yes.
I'm not sure how we can say that with any authority. He's playing at League 2 level. Bennett's tomorrow Friday is playing Bristol Rovers, League 1.
Well, that's the point, Martin. Can we bin him before even seeing him without any authority?
We shouldn't even be looking at him.
Why not? We're going to have to.
That's a point you take. We have to. We're shopping for a Ford Fiesta with a moped money. We cannot afford to go out and get these good players.
I'm trying to turn around and say football has changed massively since the Burley era. Yeah. When have we ever spent £5 million on a player? As I put a tweet out. Yeah. Money only helps; it doesn't do the job. Yeah. A bad manager with money will fail. A good manager with no money can have success.
Yeah, look at Derby. How much money do they throw at players?
Fair point, Stephen.
Keane and Joel waste.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. But then I'd take Lee Martin in a heartbeat right now. Stephen, as always, I do appreciate it. I'm glad you came on to answer the point. Really good of you.
Man.
He is right in the sense of money is an issue at this football club. So that leads us on to, the land priority search is resubmitted. A deal could be closed, could be announced this week, could be a number of things. What does this deal mean to you individually as a fan? Because some are for it, some are against it. Some just don't want to know anything about it until it happens. Where are you in your journey as a fan? Ben, kick us off with that.
I'll tell you what I know. What I know is under the current administration, and there's massive debate all over the place about it, we're gradually getting worse. It's just taken a long time. So that's the known. The unknown is what happens if we change owners, and it could get better. Now, we could continue the decline. So you can actually argue that we're in no better or worse, we're in no better position than we would be. So I say take the chance, roll the dice. What I'm not doing is getting carried away and making an assumption it's going to happen. I've had too much bloody heartbreak this year with football, and this is the one kind of, thing I enjoy amongst this terrible year. But I don't want to get excited until I put on TWTD and I see new owners, Ipswich Town, Marcus Evans bought out on a deal. These are the details. I'm going to assume it's not happening, because if it gets taken away, or I'm assuming it's happening and it doesn't, it's just going to break my heart. And there's enough things about Ipswich right now that can break your heart in 1,000 ways. I don't want that to be number 1,001. So it will happen or it won't. And that's where I am.
I'm the other way before Adam answers. The thought of somebody else sitting in the hot seat is keeping me going, because Alex Gilead is the future under Marcus Evans, and it fucking depresses me.
Don't put yourself in a position, Martin, honestly, because the disappointment is going to be...
I do the content around the club, and I love the club. But this is the only bit of light I've got at the moment in the football club, because, and I know we're going to talk to Bristol Rovers fans soon who, are facing possible relegation, and everyone's got a different story or a worse story to tell, etc. But for my football club to even be rumoured with a player who's only got 1 goal, 4 assists in League Two, and people be considering that as, well, it's the only thing we can put up with or the only thing we can go for, kills me in more ways than hoping and praying and it not happening. Flatty, how about you?
I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought people would get so excited about land registry searches. Hey, I think you're just so starved of any kind of goodwill stories we've been, isn't it, for so long that people, that you're getting excited about,
True.
searches. And that, look, for me, I'm a bit like Ben. I think if it happens, it happens. I'm not going to get too up or down about it. Regardless, I've been let down too many times by this football club. So, yeah, when I see an announcement to say that Marcus Evans has left, and but the American guy, Team America, have turned up, then great. But I do, there is a part of me that really, really does hope it happens.
Of course.
We've seen what the future might look like with Evans and another third season in League One.
Yeah.
The consistent death of this football club over a consistent period. It's difficult to take, but I try not to get too up or down about it. I think I used to really affect me if we lost or there was sort of news coming out of the club was shit, but I've learned to sort of temper that a bit over time.
Good man.
To sort of
That's exactly the way to be. Yeah.
To try and sort of not get too high, not get too low. But look, I totally understand why some people are like that. This football club means an awful lot to a lot of people, and it might be the only positive thing that they have in their lives. And if Marcus Evans is running it, then what has he said?
Stephen, I'll tell you what, mate. I'll stream myself. I'll dance naked with you.
Nobody has to dance naked for anything.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's going to happen. But I don't
have Zoom on my camera though, so I can't do it.
Speaking of what
you're right though, Martin. There'll be more players like Alex Gilead linked if the current regime stays, because we what's going on behind the scenes. Lee Evans and not Lee Evans, Leo Milne or whatever his name is.
You got it right. You got it right, Lee Evans. But as Mike D says, Gilead, Bennett, and Drinnan. That's a front three that should scare people. That's worse than any Chucky film, any Friday the 13th. That's just a Nightmare on Elm Street level of next play.
You go trick or treating with Aaron Drynan masks on.
Right. We are joined by a Rovers fan in just a second. First of all, I want to just get the Ipswich Town perspective on this Friday's fixture. Cook demands a response this weekend, guys. He's issued the challenge.
Demanded one last weekend as well, didn't he?
Well, this time he says I'm demanding, as in the sense of last time he was asking, maybe, I don't know. But what are you expecting from this weekend, this Friday, first of all? And secondly, the second part question to that is, if we don't get a result against Rovers and Rochdale, where does that leave Paul Cook as a manager after demanding 2 wins? Adam?
I don't know. I mean, I still think you have to give him plenty of time to sort this out. I think it's quite evident for everybody to see that this squad of players are nowhere near as good enough as we thought they were, believed they were, and I think they've proved it consistently now over 2 seasons that they're not good enough. I don't know whether it just quickens Cook's decisions over some players if we fail to pick up. I mean, look, it's got to be 6 points, hasn't it? These 2 sides are the bottom 2 sides in the division. I mean, Bristol Rovers have lost their last 4, and I think that Bristol Rovers are one of only 3 clubs that have scored less goals than we have. So we've got to be winning. We've got to be winning this game. But look, the fact that we're not confident I just think tells its own story about how poor we've been. And look, if he doesn't get a reaction out of some of these first team players in these next 2 games, then for me, they won't play again. They shouldn't ever play again for this football club. That's for me.
Ben?
Yeah, I echo the point, Sam, entirely, actually. And I think that it doesn't matter who we play, top or bottom. If you're playing for the top, they're in form, we're not going to win. If we play for the bottom, they're scrapping, we're not going to win. It doesn't matter. We've lost against the lower sides. We've actually started winning against the top ones. I'm sorry, but based on what I've seen, I'd rather be playing the top 6 sides than the bottom 6. I see 3 points out of 6 over the 4 days. You've got players out there playing for contracts, but then again, I think half the problem is because a lot of the players know that this will be their last handful of games ever for the town. I think they've kind of down tools, but then again, the argument against that would be, okay, so play for your next club. You're a professional athlete. Play for your next club. Play for yourself. You have 4 or 5 years left to earn a living as a professional footballer. Put yourself in a shop window and make yourself shine a bit. Everyone benefits. You're going to benefit. We're going to benefit. So why not do it? But I'll get hope. I'll be 125. I'll pay my money. And come 3 o'clock, I'm going to watch some turgid dross. And Paul Cook, I love the guy, and he's got all the energy. He's going to come out and go, oh, I know, it's fantastic. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know yet. The jury's out on Paul Cook. I like him. I'm not calling for anything at all. It's the right decision to have him in. But every team who has had a new manager has had a bounce, but us. Yeah. And that frustrates me a lot.
Is Adam right when he says if they don't respond the way Cook has demanded, so you've got to then start dropping senior players off completely, because otherwise you run the risk.
Chambers.
Well, this is it. All right, well, let's bring our Rovers fan in from the Gazcast podcast. Here he is. Tom, welcome in, my man. How you doing?
Right, man.
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Hello, mate.
Good. Well, we're good. You've heard our woes. You've heard our cries from the heart. Talk to us about Bristol Rovers, because as the form guide that said there, 4 defeats, 1 draw. That draw, I believe, against AFC Wimbledon from memory, 0-0. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Joey Barton in charge. What's been going on?
Well, I mean, form's a good place to start. We are currently below you in the form table. So that kind of gives you an indication of exactly how tight we've been.
Jesus. Somebody's below us in the form guide.
It's only Plymouth and Dale that are below us.
Oh, good. That both beat us this week, didn't they?
Yes, it's not been good as a Rovers fan this season. Obviously, 3 managers in one season never tends to end well, but it's kind of starting to fall apart quite badly now. We've got Barton in, obviously quite a controversial character. A lot of fans were kind of against him just because of his past record, and kind of was on the fence with him. But he's come in, he's said all the right things as a manager, kind of similar to Paul Cook, I think, where he's really good motivator, kind of says all the things that fans want to hear, really made himself popular with the gas heads, kind of like saying about Bristol should be our city, and, you know, getting all the words right to the songs and all that kind of stuff, like all the simple stuff. But then he's been on a charm offensive, kind of saying, he's done loads of interviews, but he's been saying, you know, these players are good enough to stay up. We've got the time. We just need to like apply properly. And that was his first kind of couple of press conferences. And then as the weeks have gone on, he's kind of got more and more more and more tetchy about bad referees. He personally called out Trevor Kettle for being overweight in his press conference the other week.
Wow.
Kind of said about there's a cancer at the club. He said some players aren't pulling their weight. He's frozen out Max Amer, which I think we can all agree is a great player at this level, but he's had a falling out with him like massively, and he's our club captain. Massively called him out on social, just in his interviews. So it does feel a little bit like the wheels are coming off. And then I think last week was the big one where he basically said that if Paul Tisdale and Ben Garner were doctors, our previous 2 managers, they'd be struck off for like malpractice, essentially.
Well, that puts a lot of pressure on him then, doesn't it? So he's got to get it right. So he's basically saying your managers have been wrong, but they ain't now. But I feel kind of sorry because you're kind of working from the back foot, because you've got below you Rochdale, above you Wimbledon, and then Swindon, and these have all teams that have got games in hand on you, and more than one. So even to do that, you're kind of almost starting from you need to make up the deficit or hope. And we're playing most of them, so you've got to hope we do you a massive favour and beat these teams. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't
Tom,
rely on us, whatever you do.
No.
Don't hope we're going to do you any favours.
We break other
mate.
teams'
Really
runs. Don't worry. We are the gift that keeps on giving. You'll love us in about 5 games' time.
Tom, you're a podcaster like us all here. When you're hearing those things from the manager, when you're seeing your club captain being treated the way he's being, etc., what is your gut telling you, and where do you think this is going for you?
It's an odd one because he's only been in 10 games. He's won 2 of those, drawn 1, so it's not an amazing record. He's not come in and just absolutely smashed it, and then has the right kind of to say that these other managers rubbish. I've got it sorted. Because although performances have improved, the results still aren't coming. So I don't think he has the right to be kind of coming out with that outlandish stuff. But at the same time, he's that character, isn't he? He's always going to come out with something controversial. He's always going to speak his mind, which I think a lot of fans like. So they kind of give him a lot more leeway. The referee thing is the big one for me. So Ben Garner at the start of the season, almost every game would say about the referees and say something about the referees, and it would just grate on everyone. Joey Barton's now doing the same, but no one says anything. Everyone's just like,
he's got new manager armour on. That'll last a certain amount of time. With us, it's 16 months. So I think it'll be shorter for you guys.
Is it that, or is it the fact he's played on the heartstrings of the fans by saying Bristol is our city, by knowing the words of the songs you said earlier? Is it more the armour, or is it more the fact he's actually got them on side with some of the more passionate stuff that fans love?
I think it's a little bit both, but I think I'd err more towards the side of getting the fans on board, because he did go on a big charm offensive. He's massive on getting the fans on board, and he's always like, we're going to fight. We're going to get out of this. He says all the right things, but it's just not translating onto the pitch. I mean, on one hand, we've had a couple of dodgy decisions go against us. Like you mentioned, Swindon, we played them last Tuesday, and we scored a goal. The referee said that it had gone through a kind of leg of Forrester legs. It, I think, taken a nick off Jonah Ayunga, who was on side, and they'd incorrectly pointed out Brandon Hanlon, who was offside. So a legitimate goal in a really tight game that was only ever going to be decided by 1 goal goes against us. They go up the other end and score. At the end of the day, luck is luck. And normally over a season, it'll even out. But we've only got 8 games left. So
no luck down the bottom, is there?
No, absolutely not. So on one hand, I can see it, but no. Stick to sorting out on the pitch rather than having to go at the officials.
So how are you going to line up Friday, Tom? What can town fans in the chat and ourselves expect to see from Joe Barton's Bristol Rovers?
It's been a bit of a mystery lineup. We went absolutely mental against Sunderland in this kind of 3-2-1-2-1. I don't even know if we have enough players there. It was mad. It was kind of set up to counter them, and it worked in a way. We lost 1-0. Could have been worse. So I would expect us to be playing a 5-2-3-1, which is pretty much, or 5-2-2-1.
Yeah. I know, we know what you mean, but that sounds like the Joe Barnes were a bit mad with the tactic counters. He's just put them anywhere, and that's how you've gone out. Mike Diaz, who's Rovers' best player at the moment, Tom?
Ooh,
who have we got to worry about?
No one. In all honesty,
I had Baz from Wigan on last week, and he said the exact same thing. Now it did end 0-0, but someone's got to worry about someone.
Yeah, we lost to Wigan, so that kind of tells you everything you need to know. I'd say our best player this season is Sam Nicholson. He's out for the season now, which is a massive blow for us. I'd say,
we're quite lucky at Ipswich. We don't really get a lot of injuries. Yeah, we're okay, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say probably
Harold Shipman running our medical department at the moment. So,
Jesus, I went to a dark place.
Yeah, that did go over dark.
It's bad. It's that bad.
We want Tom to come back in the pre-season. Harold Shipman.
Well, we might be in the division below, so it might not even happen.
Don't worry, we'll give you 3 points. Look, according to BBC Sport, now I got quite out with this last week because BBC Sport tells me Joey Garner is still Wigan's top goal scorer or second top goal scorer. And he asked Baz from Wigan how he was doing, and he's not been in the country since Christmas. So this could go one of two ways, this next question. But it tells me, is it Luke Leah?
Luke Leahy.
Leahy is your top goal scorer. Is that when you tell me he's probably retired from football?
No, he's been ever present. He's taken over the armband since Aimer got booted. So he also takes our penalties. He's our top goal scorer with 9. He's our left wing back, but he does get forward quite a lot. So yeah, he's not our main threat, but he does chip in with a fair few goals, which is great.
But your thing is defence on the weekend. As long as you can stop our shot on target, you know you've got a good base to build from.
Our one shot.
Yeah, literally the shot on target.
We got an absolutely huge boost with Ansi Ukola coming back into the side. He's just massive for us. We've had Joe Day on loan from Cardiff, and he's okay, but he's no Ansi. So that's huge for us. We've got an injury list as long as your arm kind of thing. But I'd say if it weren't for Leahy's our top goal scorer, then it's Brandon Hanlon who's carrying an injury. He's playing with an injury.
Oh, okay.
And then next kind of danger player is Jonah Iunga, who we've signed from non-league. And he's raw, but he's strong, he's quick, he's got a hell of a shot on him. But
shit. We've got a goalie that doesn't move. He's 9'8", but he'll stand there. And if the ball goes past his left finger there, he'll just watch it do this. So just tell him, shoot on target, you've won.
Yeah, we've got a Thomas Holy Mannequin Challenge on Twitter.
Yeah.
So it shows you where we are. But as a fan base, we love our young players. We love players that come through our academy. You've got one of ours, Ed Upson. Is he still with you? What's he doing with you? Is he injured? Is he fit?
Injured.
Injured? Oh, no.
Yeah, he got injured against
Ipswich.
I can't remember who he got injured against, but he should be back pretty soon. He might even feature, but it's touch and go.
Okay. Hand on heart. This Friday, what are you thinking, honestly, from the game on Friday?
I mean, you said you guys are great at breaking runs. So are we.
You were 4-0. Don't worry. You'll be fine.
We've broken runs for Swindon, Rochdale, Wigan, coincidentally all teams around us, which is
not
heartbreaking. So I'm fully expecting a drubbing. I've got to be honest. I mean, you guys tore us apart at Portman Road earlier in the season. It was horrible to watch. That was our first manager of the season, Ben Garner's team, and I just can't see much. I think it'll be reasonably tight. We are playing well. If any of the other games are something to go by, this is how our games have gone this season. We start well, we create a load of really good chances, don't take any of them. Then the other team go up the other end and score, and then we can't get back in the game. And normally score from a set piece. That's been our reason for being this entire season. That's been our game plan. It's just every game follows the same pattern. It's really frustrating.
And you're sitting 2 points outside the 2 points inside the bottom 4, the same way we're sitting 2 points outside the top 6. So if you had to ask you now, are you going to survive? Do you feel you're going to survive or not? 2 points you need?
I can't say it. Like you said, we've had our chances.
It's those games in hand, in it, and the other teams have got. It's just a killer.
Yeah, it's a massive killer, and it's always been in our hands. This is it. We didn't have a great start under Garner, but we were doing okay. Then we brought Tisdale in, and then we were doing not great. And then and it's just kind of all been a slide down. And then we brought Barton in, and he hasn't been able to turn it round. And unfortunately, the games.
God, they're just like us. You're just describing the players, the injuries, the slide down, the new man. You're literally describing us, but just at the other end of the table. I mean, say other end. We'll be 13th if we don't win on Friday. But it is literally. I feel for you, mate. I know we know the pain. We sit here every week, and it's crap. It's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
The thing is, we'll play a good side like an Ipswich or a Sunderland or Peterborough, and we'll play well. We won't get anything out of the game. We'll put in a performance, but then the next week we've got a Swindon, a Wigan, a Rochdale, a Northampton. We've still got to play Northampton actually, and we just fall apart and we just lose ground to the teams around us, and it's just I can't you know, if we could pull ourselves out of it, it would be amazing. It would be amazing.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, agree. Good luck,
Ben,
man.
you've heard it. You've heard it all. You've heard what Tom's got to say. What are your score predictions as we close off today's show? Adam first. What is your score prediction for Friday?
I don't know. Well, if there's any neutrals watching, well, they're going to sign up for the £10 for iFollow, aren't they? Crikey, we've really sold it to them, haven't we? two depressing sides. No, I think it will be. Do you know what? I think it will probably be a draw, 0-0, 1-1, or
0-0 written all over it.
Or if anyone wins it, it's a 1-0 or a either way. I can't call it really, to be honest. Though we've got too many passengers at the moment, so I think. It's whoever wants it. Do Bristol Rovers want it more because they need to get out of trouble? Do we want it more because we want to get in the playoffs? I think it's who's going to blink first, really. Who wants it more?
Okay, Ben?
Shoot more than once, you're going to win. If you have your single solitary shot and you don't score, 0-0. But all you've got to do is shoot more than once and we're fucked.
Absolutely. Tom, real pleasure. Look after yourself.
Take care, man. Good luck.
All the best.
Hopefully
speak in pre-season, but thank you ever so much.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you. Adam, Ben, thank you as always. And to guys and girls watching, tomorrow, 9 p.m, Ipswich Town FC Women's Special. And then, of course, match day ticket live with myself, 2:30 as normal. We'll see you then with love, with care. Hi guys, Martin here. A huge thank you to every single one of our monthly supporters. Without your support, we can't do what we do on a weekly basis. Not yet a supporter? Why not? Please consider supporting us monthly. Anything you give, from £1 upwards, anything at all, is greatly appreciated and helps grow the platform. We've come so far in a year, let's go even further in the next. Thank you. However, if your monthly budget is a bit like mine, a bit sporadic, and you're not quite sure where you are, then please consider giving us on a one-off donation basis. We do, of course, accept those and really cherish every single one of those as well. The link for monthly and a one-off is exactly the same. It's all on Ko-Fi. Head there. And thank you so much. One more thing before you do go. As you can see on this beautiful screen with nobody here, we have a few advertise here spaces. So if you are a part of a company looking to reach a wider audience, or in charge of your own company, self-employed, I think they call that, and you'd like to reach a bigger audience and grow your business as we hopefully come out of this lockdown, hopefully progress into a new future, a brighter future, then please do leave a comment or find me on Twitter or Facebook, or of course email me. Email is in the description, or it is homedressing89@gmail.com. Let's together go forward. Right, now to the video.